Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're going to do the third video of the Elite Remedy. Now, since I got the Elite Remedy, I've changed the blade rest. So I've made the blade wider and I've shortened the draw. So I've shortened the draw stops, so I've moved the draw stops forward, so that reduces the let off, and I've also shortened the draw, so now I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. Now that probably took me about three lots of shooting. I also had to twist the peeps, and the peep was aligned. So this is my first shoot where I feel comfortable that I feel like the bow's pretty much perfectly set up. So my initial findings of shooting the Remedy, I really like the draw stop at the back end. I haven't got limb stops on there yet, it's just cable stops so far. So I really like the stop at the back end. I find the draw cycle a little bit more aggressive at the start than the PSE, so I'd be interested to compare the speed of the Elite versus the PSE. I think the Remedy at 34 inches is not an issue for me, but I think the brace height, which is a little bit over 6 inches, I think it's making it a little bit twitchier to shoot compared to a 7-inch brace height. So I feel, and it's not that it reflects on the points because I only shot the one where the draw length was too long for me. I didn't feel comfortable. This is literally the first shoot. I just feel that it's a little bit twitchier than a bigger brace height. We're going to go and see. I really like the way the bow shoots. It feels so dead when you shoot the bow. It feels great. So we're a bit over 18, so I'm a little bit in the shade because it's a really hot day today. There's a fair bit of wind today. And the other thing I'm going to say, the Elite Remedy is a bit lighter than the PSE, as the camera drops. The Elite Remedy is a bit lighter than the Citation. I feel that in the wind I get blown around more than the PSE. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Today's fairly windy, so let's sort of see how it goes. Now, I will say, as far as bows I've ever shot, this bow rates. It rates, as far as I'm concerned, as one of the best bows I've shot in everything. I love the adjustability, I love the build quality, I love the finish. I think Elite make a really nice bow, and I think it's well priced too. It's not as expensive as others. So and what amazes me with this bow is when now I've changed the draw cycle through shortening the draw length, decreasing the size of the valley. Not that there's anything wrong with the valley before, but it changes the entire feel of this bow. And like I said, I haven't fitted limb stops yet. And to me, this bow just feels, it feels so much better. The grip is not the same as a PSE, so it's a little bit different for me. I'm not going to say better or worse. I would have said better at the start, but now it's just a little bit square on where the thumb is. So I don't know if that just takes me time to get used to. Look, it is what it is. I mean, I would have said before, PSE's got a great draw cycle. I would have said probably Matthews have got the least shock when you shoot. And then Elite and Bowtech tend to be in the middle. They have a pretty good draw cycle, pretty good vibration, very techy bows, because they just allow so much variation. Elite seems really easy to aim. Like, I'm going to say incredibly easy to aim. It just feels like I can just sit it in the center for so long. Which, you know, I've shot PSE for forever, right? And I shot the PSE on the weekend. The PSE Citation I shot on the weekend because I shot the Elite and I shot the PSE alongside of one another. And I felt the PSE I shot a little bit better with, so I shot the PSE on the weekend. And this is for a competition. And I just feel this aims really, really well. So I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the day if I actually shoot higher scores with this bow. But I feel like I aim better with the Elite than the PSE, but I feel like my arrows go better with the PSE, if that makes any sense. I don't feel like I aim anywhere near as good with the PSE, but the arrows just seem to stack up. So that wasn't great. I shot that on the 9-10 ring at 3 o'clock. Sorry, at 9 o'clock. I think there's probably 4 X's. I think there's probably 2 9s. I assume the 9 out to the edge was that shot I took, which was, it wasn't anywhere out there. It was a 10-9 ring when the release end went off. I guess I think I need to move my sights a little bit to the left because the arrows are a little bit to the left. Let's shoot another one and see how it goes. Okay, so I go to the club on the weekend. And I had to decide which bow I was taking, whether I was taking the Elite or the PSE. And I shot here in the shooting range. And I felt like I shot better with the PSE, so I took the PSE. And also the Elite, the peep sight had to be adjusted. So that kind of... I was 50-50 on whether to take this bow. Anyway, I get out of the car at the club. It's a nice day and I went. And they don't run this event very often. It was 70 meters on a big face. 72 arrows, and I thought I can break the record. The record was 688. I was like, I can do this. This record, very achievable. I think it was 668. I was like, I can do this. This is very achievable for me. Anyway, I get out of the car and there's wind. I'm like, because if there's wind, it's very hard to shoot a record. It's very hard to shoot your best sort of score. So I was just like, damn. Anyway, halfway through, I'm dead on the record. And I was like, bugger, because my serving was moving, my D-loop was moving. And I'm like, Anyway, I shot a couple of bad arrows. I missed out by 6 points overall, which was a bit it literally crushed me, but just because I thought I was shooting so well. I felt like I could shoot 700 out of 720. Could be delusional, but I just felt that I was shooting at that level. Anyway, so when I go back from the club, I fix the string, I fix this bow, and here we are today. It's funny, people say, why don't you do a video where you set up the bow? It takes so long to set up the bow, to make the bow just right for you so you feel really comfortable for it. It takes time of shooting, and But like that shot then just felt perfect. It felt easy. Everything felt easy. And then I think to myself, well, how would I be with the result 36 or the result? Now the result has got a brace height of 7 1/4. The result 36 has got a brace height of 6 3/4, I think. 6 3/4. So a little bit under 7 inches. And would the result, either the 36 or the 30, the result 30, the result or the result 36 feel the same as the remedy, given it has a different cable guard and they're longer bows. The other thing with the result, sorry, there's lots of flies because it's a hot day in Australia. The other thing with the result is it's got slightly smaller, so it's the same type of cams as the remedy, but they're slightly smaller, which is, I think it would make it a little bit harder to draw. So I think the draw cycle would be a little bit different on the result to the remedy. I feel with this bow that I can't miss, and clearly I can miss. I just feel I can't miss. It feels easy to pull it, like locks in place. When you shoot the shot, the bow just sits there. There's no vibration. It's so quiet at night time. I was shooting it last night out here. I shot about 12 arrows with it. It was 9:15. It was dark. And I was shooting out here, and the bow's so quiet. All the neighbours overlook the house, and I figured they couldn't hear me shooting. They might, but I figured they couldn't. Look, I don't know if they're all 10s. The sight seams are still a little bit to the left, and that's about as far as I can move the sight without moving the rod across. So we're just going to keep shooting, but I figured they'd all be 10s. They all wouldn't be X's. I reckon probably 2 of them would be X's. But they were right. You know, they were pretty solid shots. Part of me wonders, when you change bow companies, and maybe I should ask people who have actually changed bow companies, does it take you a while to settle into a new bow to get that same level of consistency? I feel like when I swap from a PSE to a PSE, it's all the same. I shot the Expedition, I shot the Perform, I shot the Supras, I shot the Supra, different model of the Supra, the 37, I shot the 40s. Now I'm shooting a Citation 36. It all feels pretty much the same for me. The grips feel the same. Draw cycle feels pretty much the same. The Citation 36 with EM, that was a speed machine. That bow was something else. But you'll notice, like when I first did the review of the Remedy, the arrow was coming off their blade rest all the time, and now it doesn't. So I've increased it from the 4mm to the 5mm. So it's a standard blade now. The first one that it came with was a very small blade. That's as far left as I can get my sights without making a major change. And we're not going to do that. We're going to finish this shoot. So all I'm looking at is for consistency. When I look at bows, and when I look at changing bows, I look, well, how easy is the bow to shoot? How easy is it to aim? Do I like the Do I like the draw cycle? Do I like the anchor? Do I like the way it feels? And how are the results down the other end? It's funny, this boat's significantly lighter than the PSE Citation. I feel the side pin just moves up and down slightly. It feels like it's dropping. That could be the weight of the stabilizers just getting them balanced. Which is one reason why I don't change stabilizers from one bow to the next. Because once I have them sort of set up for one bow, that's pretty much it. Because if I change from one bow to the next, you'd have to write down what your stabilizer configuration is. Maybe the angles feel different. I just leave it. Which is why for the remedy I've got cheaper stabilizers on the boat, because I don't want to put on a set of expensive stabilizers onto the boat when I'm just testing the boat. Which is interesting in its own right, because these are cheap stabilizers and on the Citation it's got expensive stabilizers. So I'm not feeling the vibration down these stabilizers. Normally with cheap stabilizers you feel a lot of vibration. I feel nothing with this boat. Really disappointing that all my arrows are to the left of the target, because I feel if they were in the middle of the target, it would really improve my stalks. I think this bow is amazing. That's not taking away anything from any other bows made, because there are so many amazing bows made, but this bow is just so easy to shoot, so well made, so little vibration. I feel the arrows are going in the middle. Those arrows are clearly not all 10s, but they're grouped together. They're grouped together like that. Look, if I had my sights a little bit across the sides, I'm pretty sure they would all be X's. So with that, I'm pretty happy. We're going to shoot one more, and it's going to give me a feel for what sort of score I would shoot for an indoor round, because that's what I based all my judgments on, correctly or wrongly. That's what I do. So let's just finish this up. So I'm going to summarize this before I even shoot this end. I think I could shoot a perfect score with this bow. I think I could. I don't see that it's different enough from any other bow that you could notice the difference in shootability, as far as, you know, accuracy or lack of accuracy. Saying that, I really want to try the result now, because I just want to try that bigger brace height compared to this to see if it has any impact on shootability. I see my friends in America who shoot the elites. They shoot amazing, like amazing. And it's not to say my friends who shoot PSE don't shoot amazing. They shoot amazing too, right? But it's about how I feel about. I suppose what I'm saying is they're probably better archers than me, and they'll shoot amazing with any bow they shoot. So for me, it's like, well, which bow am I going to shoot better with? Do I actually shoot better with one bow versus another? I remember when Jesse Broadwater swapped to Matthews. He was a Hoyt shooter for ages. I don't know if he had a lot of success with Matthews, and he swapped back to Hoyt. And I bet my bottom dollar he's going to have success with Hoyt because he's familiar with the bow. It's what he's shot for years and years and years, which is why it's sometimes quite hard for a pro to swap from one brand to the next. It's not to say they can't shoot it, because they clearly can, but at the exact same level that they shot their last bow. I mean, you could say Dave Cousins is one of the best shooters in the world. When he was with Hoyt, then he went to Prime, and I don't know if he had a lot of success with Prime. I didn't really hear much of him at Prime. And now he's at PSE shooting the Super. I've seen his name on the boards winning stuff. Now he claims it's due to a deflex riser, the position of the limbs versus the position of the hand grip. Makes the bow easier to aim. Now I'm sure he's a great archer, and I'm sure he could shoot a 300 point score with any bow you put in his hand. But it's about that consistency. Can he shoot 900 with any bow, or does he shoot 899, 898 with a normal bow? Like when I grabbed the Citation, the SE 36, my first indoor round was pretty much a 300, and I've only shot a few 300s in my day, 2 or 3. So I was like, it was just cool, first end, and I just went in the middle, and I was like, easy. And then I shot this bow, and I'm like, oh, this is easy too. And then I shoot the recam, I'm like, geez, I'm shooting that well too. I'm not having a big head. I might sound like it. I think I've actually improved my technique a bit, and my body's not hurting as much, but I clearly found that bow easier to shoot, and this bow is just so dead in the hand. It's I suppose my point with this bow is because you've got the adjustability on harping on it, you can make this bow feel the way you want the bow to feel. And I've set this bow to feel pretty much like a PSE in the draw cycle. And then it's a bit lighter, it's got a good grip, and it's dead in the shot. So, how would I compare this to the PSE NXT 33, 34, 35, the EVL 34? Look, it might be very similar for me, and I've got there's archers in my shop who shoot those bows. The 35s, the 34s, the 33s, and they shoot them extremely well, and they shoot them up against their target bows, and they really cannot pick the difference between them. So I say to archers, how do you shoot with one bow compared to another? And they say, I'm thinking about one of my stuff, and they said, look, I think I shoot better with the hunting bow, the 35. But then when it comes to scores, he shoots scores with it, and the Supra, his target bow, is a little bit better, a couple of points better. So you'll see he will shoot that for target. I'm getting a little bit of up and down movement. That's why I sort of said with the aiming, I was feeling like the bow was moving up or down. So that might just be a little bit of adjusting on the stabilizers. But look, the arrows are out to the left, but I'm pretty sure if my sights were lined up, it would have been a good score. And yeah, the first end, there was 2 9s. One was a very clear 9. That was a bad shot, but it was aimed at the 10-9. The other 9 was kind of, it was off to the left, but my sights were off to the left. So if the sights were right, that was probably going to be a 10 also. So my summary, I think I'm going to shoot pretty similar with the Elite as compared to the PSE Citation. I think so incredibly similar that I need to shoot more with both of them to compare, and I probably need to shoot them at longer distances because I'm struggling to pick the difference, and I'm finding the Elite so easy to shoot. It's not to say I'm finding the PSE hard to shoot either, right? I think I'm shooting really, really well with the PSE. So, summary, I think I'll leave the Elite set up the way it is. I think I'll set up a result just to make it worse and shoot with that and compare the result to the Remedy. I think I'll do a comparison video of 1-to-1 the Remedy to the PSE. We'll do it by speed because I'm interested. I feel the draw cycle is a little bit more aggressive on the Elite. It hurts me more at the start through my arm here. But then when I get back in the valley's a little bit easier. So I feel like it's easier to hold than the PSE at the back valley. So I feel at the back valley, the PSE is working my back muscles more. Now with the Elite, you could obviously shorten that to make it even more PSE-like. But that was feeling nice. So I was pretty happy with it. I'd like to try limb stops with the bow. Big fan of limb stops. But at the moment, it's just a really nice bow. Price point on the bow, I think they sell for about $1,600, which is, to me, is really, really good. It now puts the bow cheaper than the PSE Supra, and basically cheaper than all the rest of the, the Bowtechs, the Hoyts. Well, Hoyts are expensive. Matthews are expensive, but this bow is really, really nice. I gave it to a Matthews shooter to have a shot with, like this bow, the way I've set it up, and he was like, "It's really good." And I'm like, I think it is. I think this bow is really, really good. It feels so different to the one you pull back in the shop with the big valley. The big valley and the big, how it drops into the valley. When you move that stock forward, it feels different. It feels good. So one thing I think I will do with this bow is I'll take it back to the archery shop and leave it in the shop for people to shoot, so they can feel it and compare the difference between how the bow is out of the package and how I've set it up for target, because it's so different. So with that, it's a really hot day in Australia today. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.